Hey guys, SaintsKnight here, welcoming you guys back to the channel here with another episode of the F1 show. And in today's episode, which is aired on a Thursday rather than a Monday because, well, yeah, this little bad boy right here. I mean, it's what makes the F1 show unique. In today's episode though, we are going to be taking a look at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, or the Baku City Grand Prix, whatever you want to call it. Either way, we will be taking a look at either the fourth or fifth race of the 2018 Formula One World Championship. We'll be taking a look inside the qualifying, the race, and what this race means for the overall Drivers' Championship. So you know what, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, if you do want to keep seeing the F1 show on the channel, you know what to do. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. So without further ado, let's dive straight in and let's talk about qualifying. Now, qualifying wasn't really that particularly interesting for a lot of drivers. I mean, as you can see from the table up here, as usual, Sebastian Vettel qualified fastest with a time of 1:41.4, closely followed by his championship rival Lewis Hamilton by about 0.179 seconds, which isn't really that big considering it's Lewis Hamilton. Meanwhile, thankfully, the Red Bulls have actually learned from their mistakes and actually put in a very solid lap time. Actually, both their drivers set a good lap time with Danny Ricciardo being in fourth and Max Verstappen behind him in fifth. It wasn't all good news for every single team, however. Haas had a bit of a problem for their driver Romain Grosjean. He had a breakdown, and because of that he couldn't get a lap time in, so he would basically start the race in the last place. Not a very good start for Haas, but promising start start for Red Bull, and well, Ferrari and Mercedes. They both were pretty goddamn good. I mean, it's Mercedes and Ferrari. How could they not be? One's got the last year's F1 champ, and one's got a four-time world champion, aka Vettel and Hamilton. Anyway, now on to race day, and just when you think that this season could not possibly get any more exciting, I mean, if anyone's a fan of Formula One, you would know that the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, the circuit is a pretty tough circuit to master. The reason why, it's got sharp turns, tight corners, it's got a huge ass straightaway, I won't deny it, but hell, even in qualifying, the likes of Kimi Räikkönen and all would usually mess up. So you would imagine in the race, that means that the people would actually get familiar with the track, and we won't see like much safety cars or crashes. Oh, how you are wrong, my friend. Because on the very first lap, Esteban Ocon and Sorokin were both out after one lap. They didn't even, actually no, I take it back. They didn't even finish the first lap. And both of them crashed into each other, I think, on the second corner of the race. Yeah, you couldn't even get past two corners. Good job. But it was a pretty good crash, but unfortunately for both Ocon and Sorokin, it meant that they were out. And well, and it was actually and moving away from Ocon and Sorokin, Renault actually were actually going pretty strong. Actually, they were ahead of both Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo. I mean, both Renaults were both really good. I mean, they were on par to actually be within the top contenders for this race. However, Nico Hülkenberg, who was ahead of Max Verstappen at lap 11 crashed into the wall, actually had a collision with the wall, and which unfortunately meant that he was out of the race at lap 11, which of course means that the safety car was put out. I mean, actually, and the safety car came out once, I think, at the last race, if you remember. If I got it wrong, please let me know in the comments. But this race, it didn't come out once, but twice. Once at the start for the crash in the first lap, obviously, and once, I think, during the last stages of the race, the last little bit. However, just when I think, I look at qualifying. As you know, I watch every single day of the weekend of Formula One. I watch the practice, the qualifying, and the race. Not really much after practice, but qualifying and the race, the two main ones. And I look at qualifying. I think, wow, Red Bull are going to be on par. This may be the race that they can finally claw back some points. Both of them, not just Danny Rick, or just Max Verstappen. Both drivers. I thought that both drivers, this would be a test to see how good they really were. That is until a little Australian driver named Daniel Ricciardo collided into the back of his teammate Max Verstappen, therefore causing them both to crash out and ultimately get put out of the race on the 41st lap. With about 10 laps to go, they were both gone. Why? I think I must have put a curse on Red Bull or something, because I placed a bet on both of them last year. I mean, I placed a bet on Max Verstappen winning the championship, and I put a bet that Red Bull were actually going to win the constructors. I think I may want my money back. Although, maybe money back on the constructors race, actually the driver's standards, I mean, it's still out there. It's still tied up for anybody. It's still anybody's championship. But for the race, though, there was only one clear winner, and that was, as you can see from the chart up here, that would be Lewis Hamilton of Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton's first win, actually, of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, because all the times that this Grand Prix has actually been on the F1 calendar, Lewis Hamilton has never, ever won it until right now, of course, beating Kimi Räikkönen, actually, for second place, which is interesting. I don't know. Actually, Vettel actually finished very clear odds, so he could have gone better, but he had a few problems, hits and all that sort of stuff. However, the tragic thing about this is that Valtteri Bottas, Hamilton's teammate, was actually was on a roll. He was in first place for pretty much the entire race, actually near enough the entire race. He was absolutely dominating it once the first or second safety car was into fruition. Either one, whatever. However, he had a puncture, actually, whilst he was driving, he had a puncture on one of his tires, causing him to be out of the race. Which, I was watching that race and it was devastating, because hell, even Hamilton said after the race that it should have been Bottas's win, and I agree, it should have been Bottas's win. I mean, he was on point. He was ahead of Vettel. He was ahead of Räikkönen. He was ahead of a lot of people, but at the end, it all came down to the bloody debris of the calamities of the first lap and of everybody just crashing. However, the best news and the biggest surprise actually is that Sergio Perez actually finished third, and not only that, but this is actually an important one, because this third place position here officially means that Sergio Perez is actually now the most successful Mexican in the entire history of Formula One, which I gotta say is amazing. So you know what? I gotta give credit where credit's due. Perez actually didn't do too bad, actually. I mean, congratulations to Perez. I mean, people thought that Charles Leclerc was the driver of the day. I actually thought that as what he did do good, but Perez, come on, you can't deny that Perez made a good run. Now let's take a look at the driver standings, and with the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, it actually sees a little bit of a change in the top two, actually, with Hamilton overtaking Vettel to achieve first place in the Drivers' Championship by just 4 points. So it's still anybody's championship. It's not claimed for anybody. It's all just still, it's anybody's game, basically. Kimi Räikkönen, Vettel's teammate, is actually in third by 22 points behind of Lewis Hamilton. So Räikkönen, he's a good driver. I know that he can step up to the plate. Meanwhile, my bet, Max Verstappen, barely in the top 10. He's in 8th place, and Danny Rick actually doing better than him. He's in 5th place right now. But what does this mean for the future of this Grand Prix and the future of a lot of cars? Well, what I can tell from this is that this is going to be a hell of a season. I mean, if we take a look at the past races, I mean, the last few races were filled with some of the most adrenaline pumping action, and it was some of the most exciting content to be seen on a Formula One season by far. And if the rest of the races can actually keep it up with this, I mean, we are going to have one of the best we may have the best modern day Formula One World Championship ever produced. I mean, it really could be that good. So that was your in-depth look of the Baku Grand Prix. What did you guys think? Did you guys tune in? What did you guys think of everything that happened? Whatever your thoughts, your opinions, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And with that, I'm afraid that it is now time to end today's program. I hope you guys did enjoy that. If you did, please smash the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and if you're not new, then don't forget to turn on your post notifications. Simple to do, really. Sure, you guys know how to do that. I'm not going to bore you to death with it. And apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next F1 show. So until then, guys, as always, peace.